Hey, what's up, everybody? Wanted to shoot this quick testimonial just to sing my praises for the program over at Executive Advantage that Mitch and Mark run. It's phenomenal. So my name is Mike King, and by day I work for a mortgage company, but on the side I run my own consulting firm, King Family Consulting, where I help mortgage brokers and loan officers use LinkedIn to generate appointments with high value referral partners that can send them business each and every day. So before I was with Executive Advantage and I joined the program, man, I spent countless hours on the internet trying to reverse engineer what other people were doing to generate appointments using LinkedIn. I'm not talking 10 hours. I'm not talking 20 hours. I'm talking easily hundreds of hours of me researching on my own and learning different things so that I could start my own consulting business on the side. And I was able to, as a result of that, I was able to get 5 clients on my own and get them some pretty decent results. But then I wanted to take some of the revenue that I generated from that, and I wanted to leverage that to help me learn more and increase my skills. So that's exactly what I did with some of the profits from those first 5 clients. I rolled it into joining the Executive Advantage program. Didn't even think twice about it. I had already watched the webinar to kind of learn and pick up the little tips that are shared there and implement it. And I was waiting for one more client to close that I had on the fence. And then when he did, I immediately took that money and rolled it into joining the program. So since joining the program, it's just been amazing. The stuff that Mark and Mitch go through in the program is not like nothing else that I've been able to find on my own out there. And like I said, I've got hundreds of hours of research into using LinkedIn and maximizing it in its efforts. So not only using LinkedIn, but the whole sales call approach, right? The way to take the client through a systemized process that really engages them and focuses on what they need and using that to let them tell you what they value so that you can determine if what you have to offer is a good fit. So it's really not even selling in a sense. It's consulting and then offering up a solution that pretty much becomes a no-brainer for the client when you've been able to do this process correctly. So besides that, there's also just the tactical skill set that you learn in the program. I mean, some of the things that I've learned from this are pretty crazy. So I'll give you an example. I had a client. He's a top 10 guy in the mortgage space nationwide here in America. And I was talking to him about it. And then because of the stuff that I've been able to glean from the program and learn, there was one step in there that Mark and Mitch teach us that totally blew this guy's mind, because he was sitting on about 8,000 LinkedIn connections and he had no idea what to do with those people or how to get any business out of those people. And just applying this one tactic and trick has allowed him to just speak with so many of those people that he was not communicating with before, and to stay in front of them. And for his business, it's very important to be at the top of the mind so that when his potential clients are ready to move forward with something, they think about him without blinking an eye. But how do you do that in a systemized way that's scalable, that you don't have to manage day in and day out? And the one of the things that Mitch and Mark teach us in the Executive Advantage program totally allows us to do that, right? It's like a set it and forget it type of thing. You set it up, you let it run, and you leave it alone. He actually just sent me an email yesterday uh, from one of his clients that said something to the effects of, "Holy crap, I see you everywhere." And then that was their email. And then he forwarded to me, with a laugh out loud, "This is working better than I expected." So that was really cool. Another big plus is, right, the community that Mitch and Mark have set up. It's phenomenal because you get to go in the community and you get to not only ask your questions to Mitch and Mark directly, but you have other people chiming in with, "Hey, this is what I've done that's worked," or, "These are the problems that I'm facing. Can somebody help me?" And everybody is always willing to answer questions and help everybody out, right? Like it's a team thing. Everybody wants to see everybody succeed. There's no scarcity mindset or, "I'm going to hold this back because this is my secret and I don't want someone else to have it because they could be my competitor." No, it's like everybody wants the best for everybody else, and there's not a lot of places that you find that, especially on the internet. So it's been awesome just to have that as well. And for me, that has been so important because, like, that's the way my mind works, right? Like I get this little nugget or this little spark from something somebody says, and then my mind starts to think about that, and then from that spark these ideas start to grow, and then my mind comes up with all these things that I can leverage or I can amplify based on the things that I've been taught. And a perfect example of that is something that just happened to me. I recently signed a contract with a software company that could be worth up to six figures in a year's time by the time it's done. Super excited about that, but I never would have had the confidence. I never would have had the knowledge, the skill set to position that correctly with the business owner and to get them to listen to me and provide valuable ideas to solve the solution or the problem that this business owner had. And because I was able to approach it from a different angle than everybody else, that's what won me the job. He loved the ideas that I had, and I wouldn't have had those ideas had I not learned the things that Mitch and Mark taught me, plus the ideas that were sparked inside of my brain from reading all the comments and seeing all the things in the group. So this is like the culmination of all of that work, all of that studying, all of that learning, all of that paying attention. And man, I'm pumped. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be fun and exciting and a great adventure. So that's basically what my business has kind of been like since having this system. I'm also in the talks with two other major, I guess, companies in my area about implementing some of these things. And they're also excited. And if I land those contracts, I mean, I don't want to exaggerate, but this could easily be in the multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time this is done. My goal is to be 100% self-employed before the end of 2019. I want to work for myself and do my own thing. Not that I don't like my day job, but it's not part of my calling and in my why of why I want to do things. And this system is going to help me get there, right? It's been a huge part of my success and my learning curve, right? Like that's one of the biggest things, right? Like I shouldn't say I wish, but you can learn things on your own and spend all the time and all the hours going through that, or you can learn from other people who have already been there and done that, and you can shortcut that success, right? Obviously, I think there's value in going through something yourself and figuring it out, right? Like, because I rely on my ability to figure out things, but to be able to have somebody come alongside you and be like, "Hey, I can help you, shave 6 months of learning time, shave a year's worth of learning time off of this, show you some things you haven't even seen. Just one of those things could 5x, 10x your business or what you're experiencing. And that's really what you're getting when you join Executive Advantage, right? Is you get this brain trust of Mitch and Mark's experience plus the other community members that you get to draw from and learn from. And, like I've said, just one of those ideas could be worth 6 figures. It's so true. So those are some of the results that I've gotten since joining the program. And I would highly recommend that anybody who is serious about scaling their business without having to have ad spend like on Facebook, right? Like LinkedIn is a gold mine, but you got to do it a certain way. In the way that Mitch and Mark teach is hands down better than everything else that I've seen out there. Better than everything else. And I've investigated a lot of these things, and a lot of them teach some of the same tactics, if you will, on a micro level. But as you continue to go through the course and you learn some of the, let's just call them maybe expert secrets that Mitch and Mark have for setting up these systems and putting these things in place, I mean, it's just incredible. It's phenomenal. It's things most people I don't think know about or even think about. So it's just been awesome. If you're seriously on the fence about joining this program, I promise you, take the leap of faith, right? It will pay for itself over and over and over if you listen, you implement, and you do the work, right? There's no other result to be had because the stuff that they teach, it works, hands down. But you gotta be willing to invest in yourself by joining the program. You got to be willing to pay attention. You got to be willing to stick with it, and you got to be willing to do the work. Now it's simple, but a lot of things in life, for whatever reason, as humans, we want them to be complicated or super hard, and this isn't super hard. It's simple, but I think the simplicity is what in life is what makes things hard for people to follow through and stay with. So I just want to encourage you, right? If you're thinking about joining the program, get in there, learn these things, apply them to your business, and watch your business explode. Remember, my journey is not your journey. My success is not your success, but I believe that you can have the same success in your own time. So thank you, Mitch and Mark, for opening these things up and being willing to share and teach others. You guys are awesome teachers, and I really appreciate it. And you guys are changing my family's life, and I won't forget it. And if there's anything else that I can do to help, you know where to find me and how to get a hold of me. Have a good night.